Maverick Pilgrim is in the house. We got Adam from Fanjecture. Whoa, early morning show. Yeah, starting a little bit early today. Just woke up and sitting here around the house. Really reading some comic books and just, I don't know, just got a lot of things on my mind today. Make sure if you guys are here, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you share the stream out. If you'd like, that'd be awesome. Greatly help out. Go ahead and get started here, things, sharing all this stuff out. Hope you're all having a good morning here. Hope you're all having a very good morning. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel. I am your host, Trinity. Thank you all so much for being here today. I do greatly appreciate it. In case you guys weren't here just a second ago, please make sure that you share this video out, this stream out with your friends, with your family members, with your loved ones. Share it on Facebook. Share it on Instagram. Somehow. Share it on your Twitter. If you do any of those, share it on your what else do these kids do? Share it on your Discord. Share it on your Twitch. Share it on your Tinder. Share it on your Tumblr. Share it on Reddit. Share it on your Pornhub account. They're giving out free ones. So go out there and do all that. I greatly appreciate it. You know, YouTube's been very bad with sending out notifications to people lately for live streams. It seems like videos are working just fine. It's live streams where they're really struggling right now. Apparently they did some updates not too long ago, and they kind of switched some stuff up, which I've got to admit, it has been a little weird. I noticed that the other day, but things still aren't working there when it comes to that, because the other day I was sitting there watching, looking, for people that I was watching somebody live. I knew they were live, but then, you go to your screen on your if you're like on your phone, like, because I wasn't on my phone, I was here at the house, but I've seen it here at the house on my desktop too, where I'm sitting there watching somebody live. I know they're live, and it doesn't show up in my subscription feed, but you go to your subscription feed here, and it's got these things right here across the top now, where you can scroll through those and see who's live, who's doing what, and things like that, and you can click on live and it still won't show those people on there. I don't know what's going on with that. So I guess really, if you want somebody there, you gotta, because like I've got people here who've got scheduled lives, a couple of them, but like apparently you've got to schedule them live and everything like that. Anyway, man, we're not here to bitch about YouTube. I'm not going to be one of those people who's sitting here griping about YouTube and is going to call YouTube my enemy because YouTube is so bad and all that stuff. Dude, there's people out there that do that. There's creators out there act like shit's YouTube's fault when you use YouTube for free, man. As a content creator, we get to upload videos for free and do all this. All this shit's for YouTube don't charge us for anything. You know what I mean? But people wouldn't gripe about that. And believe me, I know a lot about this stuff because, like, I remember when I used to work at my old job, we used to get bonuses. Yeah, we used to get bonuses at a place you wouldn't believe. There's this place, this big box retailer that everybody says is the devil. Walmart. Yeah, I used to work there. And they give out bonuses. Yes, you can get bonuses there. And people would bitch. We'd get a bonus and like say like it was like really shitty and you only get like a $50 bonus. You get $50. You got $50 extra on your check. People would be like, it's $50. Ugh. And then like what would happen is every time we'd get a bonus, no matter how big or small it was, the store manager at the store, they would have a barbecue, hamburgers and hot dogs. And they'd probably have like some baked beans, maybe some potato salads, maybe some tater salad with it. And people would sit there and they'd be like, they'd go get their food. Here's the thing is there was times when they'd get cheap. They'd be like, no, only one burger, one hot dog. And they'd be cheap and shit. And I was like, dude, like the food's sitting there cold now because you won't give out more than one. Lighten up. Give us a damn burger. But people would go up there and they'd have all their free food, that they'd make us. They'd give us the burger. They'd have a hot dog there. They had their plate full of shit, and they'd be like, "This place is so ghetto. $50 bonus, and only give us one burger," and sitting there complaining the whole time. And I'm sitting there like, you realize most jobs don't give bonuses? There's a lot of jobs that don't give bonuses at all. Alright? You can't even be thankful for that. Come on. You know what I mean? Like, you're griping about something. You know what I mean? You're griping about something that's free. You're getting a bonus, for Christ's sakes. You know what I mean? Oh, and then, it's funny, the times we'd get those big bonuses, you get the super max bonus, and dude, I'm telling you, you get you might get $1,000 or so, maybe a little more. People are like, they took this much money out of it, and just like all like seriously, like, these people you cannot satisfy. And people do the same thing about YouTube. YouTube not sending out notifications. YouTube, my ads. Oh, my, God, dude, that shit gets old. Man, that gets old. We use this platform for free. The fact that I make any damn money, which most of the money I make from YouTube is from all you people, you awesome viewers, all you generous people out there who donate to the channel. I do thank you all for like the super chats and everything like that. I know it's been slim lately, man. It's been slim lately with the super chats and all that stuff. Maybe it's because I haven't been entertaining, but maybe it's because there's something going on in the world. We got a situation going on, and people are kind of tightening up their wallets right now because hey, you don't know. But anyway, let's see what we got. We got Maverick Pilgrim here, Fanjecture. Yeah, and I just started early because I was sitting here around the house, and I'm like, well, it's like I don't have a strength training necessarily to do today. I want to do it later, but I need to get a bike ride in, and it's freezing out. Like literally, it was below freezing when I woke up. The temperature outside said it was like 31 degrees. So, hey. I'm just saying, it may not have been. I don't know. It may not have been. I stepped outside and it was pretty dang cold. And you can't go riding a bicycle at nearly 20 miles an hour in basically your underwear and that, even when I'm bundled up. Anyway, guess the alerts are working today. Nice. Fanjecture says, I shared on MySpace. Nice. Sound is a bit low today. I'm not sure why that is. I think maybe, I don't know. Is that a little bit better? That might be a little bit better. Let me see. I think everything should be good through, I don't know. It should be good. Let me know. Let me know if it's not. I can always do a couple little things here to turn it up if you need. But, shared on MySpace. Yeah, MySpace, man. Remember MySpace? That used to be so great. MySpace. YouTube was spending all their time on their new emojis, right? Now that those are done, they can try and fix the notification system. Definitely. Demajina, my brother, how are you doing, man? How's things going over there where you're at, bro? With everything that's going on right now. I'm sure you're still working because I know you work in like a retail sort of environment, just like I used to work at. I know you obviously used to work at a place like that. How's things going where you work at? I mean, are you still working? Curious about that. But I hope you're doing well, man. Caught a little bit of the Dark Council this week, and I usually catch about the first hour a lot of times. On Tuesdays, I usually skip between there and then Rod the Rican from Just a Rican and his comics. They do a live stream at the same time. So, but yeah, man, still catching that stuff, man. KJ Smith says my subs is doing the same, man. Oh yeah, I hear you. I used to work there too, says Demajin. Oh, nice, yeah. Yeah, it's not that bad, people. It's not as bad as people think. When you're there doing it for so long, you really think it's shitty. Like I worked there for nearly 15 years, and it wasn't that bad. I never thought it was that bad. You put up with some bullshit, but like I'm one of those people. I never put up with the bullshit. I always said what was on my mind. I did my work. I worked hard, and I don't know. I was working my way up there. It was good. I was like working, and I actually miss the job. Aggressively Relaxing says YouTube doesn't alert anyone to my videos either, but honestly, I understand. No, I don't. YouTube should be alerting everybody to aggressively relaxing videos, because they're hilarious. I was actually on one not too long ago. One of his last couple videos, I was on there. I've got a script. I'm gonna be on another one. I just got that in a couple days ago. Checked out the script. Gonna record some audio for that here pretty soon, dude. I guess you could say I'm doing some voice acting, guys. Yeah, right. Give me a round of applause. I'm doing voice acting. Yeah, and see if you can pick me out in his video. It was one he did a few weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, on The Amazing Mary Jane. Yeah, you guys know how much I love The Amazing Mary Jane. He says, yeah, still working. I have to be in at 2 today. Okay, nice. It's kind of weird skeleton crew situation. Yeah, man. I was gonna say, and that's the weird thing is like like this week my business is being affected a little bit more because some of the places like yesterday where I go for my business, and there's links down in the description where you can check out my business and everything. It's called the Peanut Peddler. What I do is like some of the places I go to are like some of these not college campuses, but what do they call those? Like there's this place called Learn for Life, and it's different. It's in like independent learning kind of stuff. Anyway, I go to some of those places and they're closed right now, so naturally can't go in there and sell snacks, and I don't have everybody there's number, and I think that's where something important where I need to learn that for I need to do that for my business is build that database. Maybe I need to buy a website for my actual business, so I can collect people's data, like emails, phone numbers, and things like that from my customers, so I can email them and let them know like, hey man, like we're still good, we're still in business. If you need stuff, if you're working from home, we can deliver it there. Anyway, but yeah, it is kind of weird going into some of the places, dealing with some of the things. Some of the places I've been, people are like, oh, they're like all kind of scared of what's going on, and some of the people, they're just taking extra precautions. So it's all good, man. I get it. People are going to take different measures of things like that. But anyway, guys, we're having a good day here. I hope you're all having a good day. Like I said, make sure you share this out with your friends, man. And I know I went early, and I'm streaming at the same time. My good friends over at the Den of Nerds Live are streaming right now too. I know look at that. Comic pros call for a Marvel, DC Comics crossover to save the industry. Man, I wish I could be there on that one. I'm gonna watch it a little bit later. Because I got started this morning, like I said, it was cold out, and I'm like, man, I'm sitting here like not really doing much anyway. So let's get on and talk about some comic books, right? Because you guys know the Diamond Distributors basically called it. They didn't call it quits, but they're closing their doors for now. They're not shipping out any new product. This is basically our last comic book day for the foreseeable future. For who knows how long? Till the end of the month? Till next month? We don't know. Maybe. Maybe Diamond Distribution will resurrect with Jesus. With sweet baby Jesus. Aggressively Relaxed says, looking forward to getting your performance. I'm trying to get a bunch of my favorite YouTubers doing voices, and it's awesome you participated. Well, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. You know what I was thinking, Aggressively Relaxing? It's something that I think that what you do is something I think a lot more of us should do with like that creativity, man. Like I wish I could do that because it's really cool. But yeah, so yesterday was pretty much like the last new comic book day, guys. I got a review shot. I got a call from my local comic book shop owner on what was it, on Tuesday evening, and he was just talking to me about some different things. Like oh man, hey, did James tell you what's going on with Diamond and everything like that? And I was like oh yeah, well like yeah, he kind of told me, but I heard just some of the news and everything before. And he's like it's really weird. He's like. And he's like, man, I want to help you out with your channel. He's like, I feel bad, this and that, and like he felt bad for me. Like I'm like, dude, I'm just a dickhead with a YouTube channel. I just flap my gums to some awesome people who watch me, and don't worry. Like I'm more worried about you, man. Like you got the shop and everything. You're not getting new books and stuff like that, and he's like, anything we can do to help you out, man. He's like, because he was talking about like I go in there and shoot my new comic book pull list videos. I've been doing those live. Well, I didn't go in yesterday. I was going to go in yesterday morning, but I ended up doing the stream, and I ended up not going in. And I don't know, maybe I'll go in today and shoot it. But he was basically telling me like, hey, if you want to do it, come in before we open or after we open, because I want to let customers into the shop still, but maybe like one at a time, and let them browse, because a lot of people, that's what they want to do is browse when it comes to the comic books. But he's like, I'm thinking about doing that, like letting in maybe one at a time and stuff like that. Obviously telling people not to just be handling all the books and everything, and I was like, okay, cool. So, But yeah, it was a pretty cool conversation. Obviously, this isn't going to be the end of the comics industry. There's going to be more going out there. I know there's doomsdayers out there, and there's people out there talking like this is it and everything, and there's people out there talking about those people, right? And calling it doomsday. Some of those weirdos out there, you know what I mean? 1-2 Comic Talk. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a good morning. Yeah, I'm gonna have some discussions about some comic books right now. And guys, if you're here, please make sure that you hit the like button and share the video out. A lot of these streams are not going out to people's notifications and things like that. I'm telling you, it's happened with a lot of streams and people that I'm subscribed to, and even have notifications on that bell notification. Even with all notifications on, I still don't get them. So please, if you could, yeah, it'd be great. But guys, I have hope. That we're still going to be coming back. To they're going to open their doors once again, and we're going to have some comic books. Now, one thing I shared on my Twitter the other day was that hopefully when the comic book industry, when they come back, hopefully these comic book companies really think about advertising their books more. Like advertising issues and things that they have coming out, because they all seem to do a really bad job at it. And I was talking about this a little bit yesterday, and just bad in the way that they need to be more ahead of the curve. They need to like build hype and build excitement, because releasing the solicits isn't enough. Like, it's enough for me, because I do the solicits here on the channel. But is it enough for your average person to get somebody new into comics, or to get somebody who might be like, I buy comics every now and again, to bring them in? They need to do more of that. Like, I seen one of the creators, they just did a video on their YouTube channel with one of their writers talking about their book that's getting ready, that already came out. And issue number 1's already come out. It's already been on shelves. Issue number 2 should be coming. Well, was probably supposed to be coming next month. And no, I'm not laughing at that. I'm being lighthearted about the whole thing. I'm not that concerned about it. Okay, but I'm like, why wouldn't you do this sooner? Why wouldn't you have this creator? Why wouldn't you do this video with your creator a month before the first issue is supposed to come out? Maybe 2 months before the first issue is supposed to come out, where they have time to go into their LCS and put it on their pull list. You know what I mean? But how do you do that? Because, just like I make videos here, on YouTube, you still got to get it into the algorithm, right? Because, you're going to go out there and you're going to make a video, have your creator come on and talk about Punisher Soviet. Well, that's a bad example, because that would probably show up in search terms. But like one of those bigger things like that. You like, say you're going to talk about like the plot. Okay, one of my favorite books. It's a small indie book. The plot. You're going to come out and talk about the plot. Well, nobody knows what the plot is. You put that into the YouTube algorithm. It says the plot. For Vault Comics, and like, if you're not really big on YouTube, you don't have that big YouTube presence for everything, and have all those keywords and everything in there. YouTube will push it as much as they can, but people are going to see it on the thing like, who cares? You know what I mean? So do you do it in a conversation, maybe talking about something else, and also talking about your book? You know what I mean? Like something like that. Just mix it up a little bit. But I think they need to do a little bit more of that. A little bit more of like what like indie creators on like Indiegogo and Kickstarter do, like where they actually advertise their books ahead of time. Because I think they'd get better sales with that. Now, along with that comes with, obviously, you need good books to push also. But it's also kind of hard when it comes to things like that. Like I was talking yesterday as well, with my business. I sell snacks. I go into local businesses and sell snacks. People are like, what's good? They're like, is this good? I'm like, yeah, it's great. And they're like, oh, well, of course you'll say it's good. You're selling stuff. I'm like, yeah, I know, right? You kind of question me because I'm selling this stuff, but I can legitimately say that I like the stuff that I sell. There's nothing that I sell that I don't like, other than the fact that stuff I just don't like black licorice. We talked about that yesterday. We talked about me being a licoricist. And, so I'm honest about it. Like, I don't like it, but the people that I sell to, they love it. I could tell you that. But, I still only carry so much credibility with somebody in that sense, because it's like, of course you're going to say your stuff is good. You would say your shit don't stink, right? You know what I mean? Because to you it don't. It's your own flavor. it's the same kind of thing, but I still think they can market it. I mean, because that's to say, like, the Marvel Studios can't advertise their movies prior to the movie coming out. They still build hype for it. You know what I mean? They do. So you could do the same thing. I mean, think of it the same way, and they don't have to put all kinds of marketing dollars into it. I'd just like to see some more of that. But I posted this on Twitter that I'd like to see them, push their books better. And of course, some weirdos get on there and start responding to it, man. Let's check out some of these weirdo responses from some of these people, dude. Let me see if I can. Let's see if I can find this post on here. Let's see. Right here. Here's what I said. I said, I love comics. I will miss them during this downtime. I'm not one of the doomsdayers that will say the industry is dead. I do hope that publishers get better at promoting their books in the future. I haven't seen any who do great at it, and there are good titles out there. All right? And I got some feedback. And, people have some different input on here. Like, one of our great supporters here on the channel, Tara, says, we will certainly miss them, but I do have faith they'll be back. I do hope we lose those outrageous number of variants and streamline so the industry can pull itself up rather than struggle. I have pre-orders through June. I have faith. Me too. I agree with that. Darth Wacko here says, I agree. Comics really need to get better. Be the Batman says, boy, I'm glad I ordered all the trades I did this month. I hope the ones I ordered for next month are able to come through. Right, exactly. Lethal Lightning says, my sentiments exactly right here. This guy right here, I don't know who this one is. Says, promotion is not what the publishers need to do when they come back. An entire self-reflection needs to take place. The industry has been effed for over 40 years now. All right. Well, one, promotion is not what the publishers need to do when they come back. Well, for one, I didn't say that's what they need to do. And what I said is I hope they get better at promoting their books because they're bad at it. Because there's a lot of great books out there that I don't see being promoted. And I'm like, dude, and there's only so much I can do. I'm not the company. You know what I mean? If you want, like, I would gladly help any of these companies out, but send me some damn books early enough to get people in their local comic book shops and build some hype for it. Maybe I can review it, and another buddy of mine can review it, and another buddy of mine can review it, and then we can do a live stream about it, and we just do it and build it up over the next couple of months. We could maybe do one, you know what I mean, like something like that. Reach out to the community, because there's only so much I could do about it when when I don't even know about it, when I read about it in the previews, and that's about it. You know what I mean? There's only so much I can do about it, because I don't know about it. I haven't read it. I haven't you know what I'm saying. Time to really build the hype. Like I got a copy of Hexagon issue #1 early. I reviewed that about a month out. Was that 2 months out? No, but it was I think it was a little over a month out from when the book came out, which is, I guess, enough time because it was a big enough book. Your local comic book shop may have gotten it in. I just think that that's something important. I think that that's something that's important not only for these small publishers, who a lot of us do actually get in contact with writers and creators and stuff like that to review some of them a little bit early, but places like Marvel and DC need to do this too. With not just their LCS people. Yes, they should be sending those to their LCS people too, the people, and say, hey, please read this so you can at least talk to your customers about it. And it doesn't have to be every book. Every month. You know what I mean? But like certain things, if you're starting a new title, you're starting a new arc or something, something new. But just send them out to more than just those people, and more than just the super big YouTubers who are that everybody looks to and is like, oh, like send it to the average people. You know what I mean? Because I hear about a lot of great books from comic book YouTubers, people here on YouTube. You know what I mean? From other people I interact with is how I hear about some of the books that I want. So, I'm telling you. I think that's something they need to do, and I think that's something that's very important. I mean, look at what the indie creators do, and that's the thing is a lot of people talk about all those people out there, and and I'm talking about indie creators. There's other creators, indie creators out there who aren't Comics Gate, who aren't War Campaign. There are other indie creators out there who make comic books who don't associate with any of that. But the thing is they do the same thing. They go out, they ramp up the promotion, they talk about their book as they're getting ready to put it out, and then they put it out. I think they need to do a similar thing for that. I think that would be a good thing. Maybe get their creators talking about the comic books more. And I was talking about this the other day. Not Marvel. Not Marvel on your Marvel Entertainment site. Those videos are so fucking cringe when I watch those. I'm watching them and I'm like, ugh. Ugh. Like, you're having, like in some of them, they're having people who aren't actors try to act. It's terrible. It's like worse than watching soap operas on daytime TV, man. And I'm just like, ugh, just no. You're not good at this. You want to promote your new Warriors? Just send it out to 1,000 different creators on through maybe people who are on Instagram, on Twitter, on a Facebook, on different social media platforms. Send 1,000 copies out to them and let them review it. Let them come together and read it. Let them do it. Cause something like that, man. You know what I'm saying? I just think it would do better. It would do better. You're more willing to take somebody else's word who's actually consumed the product than the person who's actually dealing the product. In this case, in a case like that, because people are seeing that trailer and stuff, we see how people are reacting to it. But anyway, Fanjextra says people thought hockey would never come back after it shut down. It did. Yeah, it did. It did. I'm True Skill says, Trinity, why are you early? I was just here around the house. I woke up and I was sitting here. It was too cold to work out in the garage. Don't have a strength training to work out. I wanted to get out and bike ride. And I'm like, man, if I save my stream until 8 o'clock, that's prime bike riding time when it's freezing out. Like, it was literally freezing out when I woke up. So that's why. And I could have easily read some more comic books and stuff like that. And I did. Snowdub Music and Entertainment is here, says Jenner check. What's up, my brother? How you doing? 1-2 says YouTube has been funky lately. Yeah, it's been pretty funky. They're doing updates and shit like that. It's pretty bad. Aggressively Relaxing says no new comics. So I'm changing my channel to Peter Rabbit's Cousin and make videos where I'm unreasonably angry at the production of Peter Rabbit sequel. You should do that. Because I'll tell you, I'm pretty unhappy with that. I thought Peter Rabbit was a good one, and this second one looks too woke. Dylan's Comic says, hey man, brothers, send us those books early. Yeah, man, yeah. And like I said, it doesn't have to be every book, but like if you're launching a new series, especially for an indie publisher, if you're launching a new series, number one, I mean, most of the creators, most of the writers and stuff like that, some of the artists and stuff, like they actually do send out the books. But I think they need to do it sooner. So people out there like me, like Dylan, like people like that, like Red Gaze here in the chat. What's up, man? How you doing? Send it out to different people. And you know what? And don't just limit it to people who are like, don't just limit it to people who are nice about comic books, like Bill from Comic Book University. Don't just send it out to him. Send it out to harsh critics too. Send it out to a Ya Boy Zach. Send it out to a Red Gaze. Send it out to a young Rip of 5'9". Send it out to somebody like me. When it comes to most of the stuff, I'm a little in the middle when it comes to a lot of that kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? And it's something I've actually been thinking about switching up in some of my comic book reviews. I was thinking about the SJW meter. Should I put an SJW meter on my comic book reviews? A woke meter. I'll have a woke meter. Should I put a woke meter in there? I thought about that. Put a woke meter in there though. But seriously though, I thought that'd be funny. Red Gaze, my brother, what's up, man? I hope you're doing well, man. We need to get together one of these days, Red Gaze. I watch so many of your streams. I listen in. Dude, people probably don't believe me, but I listen in on so many streams and videos and all that stuff. It's ridiculous, man. And doing that, that's how, you kind of get a feel for people. Like, you can tell people, like, I don't know, just who you get an idea and a feel for who people are, kind of their attitudes and everything like that, man. You really do get to know people. I know some people are bad at it. Some people aren't good at that, like reading through people's bullshit or anything like that, seeing through the facades and things like that. But I don't know. I've been pretty good at it my whole life. Sometimes I hold out hope for people I probably shouldn't hold out hope for. My mom said that about me before. How is it she always... You know what my mom used to say? I think it wasn't exactly how she said it, but she used to say, like, you always, like, basically it came down to, like, always trying to save people. Like, save people. And I'm like, you know, and now when I think back on that, I'm like, shit. Am I a social justice warrior, man? Am I a virtue signaler? But, you know, what it is because, like, I always hold out hope. I have hope in people. You know what I mean? I put my hope into people. I put faith in people, you know, because I think there's a lot of people who get overlooked. I think there are good people out there who do bad things, and I think there are bad people out there who do good things. I think there are people out there who are, you would say, salvageable. Like some of these people, we can turn them around, and I'm not talking about people like Weinstein or who was the other guy who didn't kill himself, Epstein. Any of those Steens or Steins. Is it Steen or Stein? Not those kind of people. You can't cure those. You get those people are only cured by lead poisoning to the brain. Anyway, I always believe that like we can change people, man. Like we can really turn people, and that's something like I guess that kind of has to do with something in the title here with comics, coffee, and weirdos. Don't those things just all go hand in hand? Comics, coffee, weirdos. I like the taste of comics, coffee, and weirdos in the morning. But we'll get into a little bit more of that here in just a second. We'll get in. Fanjack says it's a catch-22. They don't have big budgets for marketing, so they don't do these things you talk about. But doing more marketing could raise sales. Well, here's the thing though is, and then that's exactly what I'm saying. They don't have big budgets for marketing. Of course, I know they don't. Neither do I. You know what I do have though? I have a YouTube channel. I have a Twitter. I have a Facebook. And that's it. It's free. I do all this stuff for free. Now, sure, if they want like some big, nice-looking trailer, like you know, like a Marvel Studios trailer, you know, like a Black Widow trailer for their comic book, yeah, that costs money. But to get on, take a couple snapshots of your cover, your book, maybe some pages of the interior art, that's free. You know what I mean? Sure, if you're depending on how big you are, you might have to pay somebody to do that. You know, and if you can, probably better. But chances are you might be able to reach somebody out there who might be willing to help promote your stuff for free. There's people out there who do that. Who say, oh, hey, you gave us, you know, a couple of these handful of comic books to read. We'll review them and we'll help you promote. We'll do something, you know. And people do things back and forth. Collaborations. You know, stuff like that. Stuff like that's for free. It's free. Aggressively Relaxed says, I think your argument is silly. The merchandising is off the charts. The industry has specialty shops the creators promote. They make free magazines, free swag, free video games. They are killing it. Well, but that's for Spider-Man, you know, for Batman, you know. Yeah, sure. What about Once and Future? You know, what about Mountainhead? What about The Plot? What about Blade Runner 2019? What about The Cimmerian? What about RV9? What about Shoplifters Will Be Liquidated? All the small titles. Like Marvel and DC, yeah. I mean, they've got all the action figures and all that stuff out there. But even they can do better at promoting their books because they're terrible at it. Because action figures and all that stuff, all you're doing there is you're selling old stuff. You're selling the memorabilia. You're pulling on people's memorabilia and collectibles. That, while that is selling comic book characters, that's not pushing comic books. I'm talking about like an actual focus on the comic books, selling like an actual storyline, selling, you know, things like that, like the current comics, not just by way of action figures. Because while that's all fine and dandy, we can obviously see the readership for a lot of these things are down. You know what I mean? My son, he loves Spider-Man. He got Spider-Man action figures and all that stuff. But he don't read comics. I mean, I do, but he don't read them. You know what I mean? And I can guarantee you there's plenty of people out there who are in the same situation. Of course, my son's too young, but there are plenty of people out there in the same situation who are teenagers, 20s, 30s, who, oh, I watched this cartoon when I was growing up. I don't read comics, though, but I collect the action figures. I watch the cartoon. That's selling that. That's not selling the comic book. You know what I mean? Occasionally, they might hook somebody in like they did me, like they did a Chillmonger. They might hook somebody in with a movie and make you think, hey, I want to fill in some time in the meantime and go read some comic books. But, I mean, when it comes to that, like that stuff, yeah, they're doing that, but that's not every publisher and it's not every character, it's not every book. And I'm not saying it has to be every, but like a lot more need to do better with that. But again, that's not selling comic books. Doing the free magazines, the free swag, the video games and stuff like that, that's not all, that's not pushing comic books. That's just pushing the comic book culture, not necessarily selling books. Snowdub says, did you guys hear about the new comic called Large Marge? She's an obese single mom who has adventures trying to make it from the couch to the fridge. This month we get to see how she uses a bucket. Just tell them that Large Marge sent ya. I heard Large Marge is related to Trailblazer. That's funny. Red Gate says the trailer looks terrible, but who knows? Could have the best writing you've ever seen on the inside. You know what? And he's not lying though. That's true though. That's true though. It could. I'm like, and he's laughing, but like it could actually be good. But the marketing for this is horrible. It's horrible. But I will tell you, it got everybody talking. It got everybody, dude, it got motherfuckers who don't even read or care about comic books talking about it. I'm telling you, that day when that trailer came out, dude, I'm telling you, I've seen motherfuckers I know that don't read comics, don't care about comics, don't give a shit about them, was talking about that trailer. So, in essence, I guess you could say as cringy as it was, it worked. It worked. It worked, I guess. I guess you could say it worked. But I mean, you're right. It could have the best writing in there, but we'd never know it from that trailer. I'm True Skill says have a Robert Storms meter. We'll call it the Stormometer. The Stormometer. Oh man. Red Gate says for sure, man. I lurk a lot too. Oh, I know you do. I know you do, man. I know you do. Apex Comics says your show is good. It's good for me to draw while you talk. Oh well, thank you, Apex Comics. Seen you in Young Ripper's chat the other day. Was that yesterday? I think. Seen you in there, man. Nice. Red Gate says being compassionate doesn't mean you're an SJW. Some of us are just more cynical than others. Oh yeah, certainly, man, certainly. Snowdub says hashtag trans fat. Hashtag trans fat. Apex Comics says it's Frankenstein. Frankenstein. Aggressively says 20 comics come out a week from Marvel, but harsh critics always seem to want to talk about why they are mad at Squirrel Girl. Harsh critics. Why harsh critics in quotes, man? Yeah. I was gonna say that, and that's the thing though, is I agree there when it comes to that, because I think that, and that's why I don't do like a whole lot of like harsh criticisms. Like I could be more harsh on some of the stuff, and I have been on the ones that I really feel that way about. But some of them, I think there needs to be a balance. For sure. I think and I'm not saying that like for every negative review you have, you got to do a positive one, or that you have to have anything like that. But I do think that, if you're going to trash all these comic books, there's got to be something out there that's good, you know what I mean? And that's why I appreciate like your boy Zach. He's one of the bigger people, like harsh critics that I can think of out there, because he trashes a lot of comic books. There's some that he's pretty harsh on, but he's not trashing them. He's saying this could be good. And like I said, there are like the Amazing Mary Jane that he's been propping up. Not even propping up, just saying like, hey, this is a good one that I've really liked. So he has a balance out there when he does stuff. Like he's harsh on, I mean, he rips books in half, man. You know what I mean? Like he ripped some of the books in half because he's just like, he's just disgusted with it. And there was one of them he did. I was like, he didn't rip it. I'm like, dude, I read this damn book. I wanted to rip the shit in half, and you didn't. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. I think if I see somebody who's doing nothing but trashing books, I automatically think that maybe they just don't really care, and that's all they've got is just harsh criticisms. They don't have anything good to say about anything. Where I think like a person like a your boy Zach does, and I think that would help if a lot more people would talk. A lot more of these harsh critics would talk about books that they've read that are good. That would be that would be the thing, like ones that they've read that are good. Because I can guarantee you there are books out there that even some of the harsher critics would read and say, this is good. This is good. Not saying that it's great. Not saying that it's the best thing they've ever read. But I think there are books out there that even some of these harsh critics would have to read and be like, okay, this is actually pretty good. This is decent. This is a decent read. This is worth buying. I don't know that it's worth the $3.99 or $4.99, but good. I do think there needs to be more good reviews out there because there are good books out there. But again, that comes down to what people like. Also, their preference of things that they like. I stopped reading comics in the '90s. Then guys like Comics Explained got me back in the lore again. You know what? I am True Skills. I think Comics Explained kind of got me back into wanting to read comics again too, because I was watching the movies. I was trying to build some theories and stuff. I was working on theories, and I think I was watching some theory videos and stuff, and I was starting to debunk them and things. And then I was watching. I was like, oh well, what about these comic books? And then I started doing the normie thing. You know what I mean? I didn't do it by Wikipedia and everything, but I went and I started watching comic book reviews, and I started watching Comics Explained, and I'm sitting there reading, listening and watching. I'm like, hell yeah. And I'm sitting there, I'm just like, screw this. I'm just going to go out and buy comic books. So I went out and I started buying some trade paperbacks and some floppies at the same time. Started buying trades and floppies at the same time. I was buying trades of past stuff and floppies of, the new stuff. And I was watching some Comics Explained, and then eventually I started reading Marvel Unlimited and all of that stuff, and yeah. But yeah, it kind of got me back. That's kind of what got me back into wanting to read again too. Fanjection says they do need to sell comic book culture though. People inside the bubble are into comics, but like movies, you need to reach out to larger audiences. Yeah, but again, that's why I'm saying there's nothing wrong with they're pushing the comic book culture plenty already. They already do more than enough of pushing comic book culture. Matter of fact, they do that almost too much, where they need to push the comic books. You know what I mean? Because obviously we can see that their sales aren't where they used to be. They're hurting, and they're not going to get print sales aren't going to get back to where they used to be ever. I know that, but their sales could be up. But they got to push the comic books, not just the comic. They push comic culture plenty. That's not the argument here. We're talking about the comic industry, not the comic culture industry. I mean, that's Marvel Studios, DC, Warner Brothers, all that shit. Yeah, I thought I already covered that. They do that plenty. We already know that. They push the comic culture plenty. They do that. Yes. They don't push the fucking comic books. That's what I'm talking about here. Apex Comics says Walmart will have 4 different comics from Allegiance Arts. There is hope for more exposure of comics. I'm not sure what Allegiance Arts is, but yeah, I hear you. They need to try different things. And that's why I say, like, getting out. I mean, they can do this stuff. They can do it. It's not hard. It's not hard to do. They got to reach out to people, like, to get people to, and not just like, and that's the thing, is not just like these, not just IGN, not just comicbook.com and all those big things, because I can guarantee you there's a lot of people who still look at those things, like me, who, like, I don't go to most of those fucking sites in the first place, and most of those things a lot of people look at like, these are big corporate people who have interest. They were given this comic book, and of course they're gonna push this and say it's good and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, people still look at that shit and they're like, no, I don't want to listen to this. This is the person just trying to sell this book for this person. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But they need to be more creative with stuff like that. That's the thing. Is pushing the actual comic books, not the comic culture. But yeah, there's certainly hope. Snowdub says, "This is my morning show while I'm at work. I'm a little jealous. I kind of wish I was laid off so I could YouTube more, but nope, still working. Hey man, good on you, man. That's good. Hey, you're working." Aggressively Relaxed says, "Every time a pen touches paper is a chance to draw something brilliant. If you can't find something positive to say about any book, you are a hack." Oh yeah, certainly, certainly. Um, Apex Comics says, "Marvel needs to just have the '90s New Warriors and Deep Six Donut Glazer Fang Negative Internet Gas Snowflake and Safe Space." Oh man. And I don't know. And who knows? For all we know, maybe these characters are just characters that are showing up in a New Warriors book. Maybe it's not actually the New Warriors. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Oh, Fincher says, "I disagree. They do it plenty or well enough, but too much to type it out." No, they don't. They don't though. Okay, I mean, if they do promote comic books well enough, what was the last comic book you seen promoted besides New Warriors? What was the last one that you seen promoted that made you want to get back into the store to buy a comic book? What comic book? Seriously, what comic book promotion did you see that made you want to go read a comic book? And that's the thing, and that's what I'm talking about is getting people to read the comic books. You go out and see a movie, yeah, they do that all the time. They promote the movies. That's we're talking about the actual comic books, because that's what's hurting. Not the comic culture isn't hurting at all. Comic culture isn't hurting at all. Comic books are where the sales are hurting. Allegiance Arts has Red Rooster, Noah Saga Futurist, and Bass Reeves. Is that Bass Reeves or Bass Reeves? Huh. I've never heard of that. Never heard of that. Interesting though. I'll have to look that up. Fantasy says, "I agree. I'm not saying they promote the products well. The products well either. Overall, it's bad. Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like their comic promotion is bad. Like their movies, like that other stuff, like the culture, they're great at promoting. I mean, like the movie, the cartoons, the the movies, all that stuff. Yeah, but I mean, it's the comic books. I think they're bad at. What happened to badass looking character like in the 80s and 90s? These new characters suck now. It just kind of depends. And that's why I say like, and that's why. Why do they suck? Why do they suck? Like what new characters suck? I mean, and I think that's where we need to come at is like what sucks and why does it suck? Is what we need to ask ourselves, and what could be done. What could be done to do to improve it? Because we can't just say that something sucks without having a way to improve it. And of course, most of us do know ways to improve it, and that is by way of getting certain things out of there. Now, the other thing I will say when it comes to like people always talking about like, oh, the politics and comic books and stuff like that, all SJW politics and all this stuff. The thing is like it's not that. It's not that stuff's always been there. That stuff's always been in comic. And I've talked about this a lot. The thing is right now it's really heavily leaning to one side. You know what I mean? It's heavily weighed on one side, not the other. There's not a balance, and there needs to be a balance. And the thing is what happens? The scales are always tipping. You know what I mean? It's always going one way or the other. It can never just be balanced, right? It can never just be a balanced scale. Right now, it's leaning heavily this way. What's gonna happen when there's a shift? If and when there's a shift, it's gonna shift this way. And then it's going to be the other way, and people aren't going to be happy about it again, and they're going to yell, and they're going to cry, and then it's going to go like this, and then it's going to go like this, and then like this, because it can't just be this. Because nobody can ever just be fucking happy. That's ultimately why. But also the thing is because these companies are trying to navigate all this and trying to please whoever's being the loudest. The thing is that's not what you do. You just concentrate on the stories. Concentrate on writing good stories. Don't try to satisfy everybody. I know, I think we all know you can't satisfy everybody. But you also need to tell other viewpoints as well. You know what I mean? You need to have creators, like say within Marvel, because they're so heavily leaning one way when it comes to their political ideologies that get put in the books. It's so heavy in one way, not the other. I think if there was a little more balance, people would be not necessarily speaking about it less, but and the ultimate thing is it just really needs to be thought provoking, not just so on the nose. That's what it is when it comes to a lot of stuff is the writing, because there's some of it that I read that I'm sitting here like, oh, this is total like you could see what they're doing here. They're trying to do, you know, this SJW stuff. They're doing that, but they're doing it with a good story, and they're framing it in a good way to where most, like, I don't hear people bitching about it. You know what I mean? Like in some of these books, I'm sitting there like, wow, I didn't hear, because they do it in a good way that's not that's just good and thought provoking. It actually makes people think like, oh, okay, hey, like great, you know. And you can probably tell what way the person is leaning politically, or you know, their own little agenda or whatnot. But it's written in a way that's more thought provoking. It's just written well. That's ultimately what it comes down to. It's not necessarily the politics, and also because it's more one way than the other than it is right now. Is what it is. It seems like it's less so in movies. It's just that the bigger movies are the ones that are leaning the other way, that people are yelling about. It's more about balance, and that's what people get more upset about. Anything is not that it's not necessarily that it's political views in a movie or a comic book. It's that it's not their political views in the movie or comic book. You know what I mean? That's ultimately what it usually ends up being. Because most of them, like, I have no problem hearing the stories, but sometimes, you know, I still sit there and be like, okay, there's got to be, like, I would just say an opposing opinion or whatever on these kinds of things. And that's that's ultimately what it is. That's really what it is, just people not getting their viewpoint and not liking the other viewpoint. But to me, I like it, though, because that's what I like about the arts. Because for me, that's what the arts are all about, is one's expression of doing that. You're completely free to do that. I'm perfectly okay with that. I'm okay with you putting your political nonsense and everything in there, but you can do it without it being on the nose, without it being lazy, and without changing legacy characters. You know what I mean? Just leave the characters the same and you can still tell your story. Just do it good. Just do it good. I don't think anybody has any problem with that. You know what I mean? Let's see. Fanjack says, comic culture is hurting. There's still the large majority of society that sees actual comics as either for kids, teens, or lesser form of reading entertainment. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, but I don't think that's necessarily all just the comic culture, but comics in general, definitely. Comic culture, it's becoming big. It's big now. You know what I mean? So it's undeniable. I can't say that comic culture is hurting. It's booming. It's booming right now. What's bad is it's being appropriated, I guess you could say. It's being appropriated in a way. Aggressively Relaxing says, the great thing about people being angry about New Warriors is it matches the tone of how people feel about teenage heroes in the 616. So now it's like I'm living in the Marvel Universe. Right? Oh man, that's funny. Yeah. Yeah. Fanjack says, print material is already low in entertainment, and comics are even lower than actual books to people. Oh yeah, totally. And you know what? It's funny because I was watching somebody's one of these videos the other day. Whose video was that? Ryan. I think it was Ryan Kinnell from RK Outpost. And guys, I like Ryan. Ryan's a good guy, man. But I was watching one of his videos the other day, and you know what? I don't comment on a lot of stuff because for some reason when I post comments on people's YouTubes and shit, like, people take that shit seriously and they think I'm being a fucking asshole. So like a lot of times I don't even respond because like people are sensitive fucking bitches, man. And I'll comment some shit, and next thing you know, like, people are like, oh, like, whoa, bruh. So I don't even, like, a lot of times I don't even post shit because people always think like I'm being an asshole, I'm being confrontational and shit, and it's like, no. But in his video, he's talking about the comic industry and you know, with the stop of the Diamond distribution, he's talking about the digital comics, and he's like, you know, people don't read digital. And I gotta say, oh, that is absolutely not true. I know a lot of people who read digital and not print. And because he was saying, it's like, oh, because what he said was nobody reads digital. And I'm like, oh, no, that's not even true. Even Rob Jefferson from Comics Explained, he did a whole video on it talking about print. No, He likes the digital comics. Lots of people like reading digital. Josh from Denim Nerd said he likes the format reading the digital comics. Lots of people read digital comics. There's a whole bunch of people who don't read print comics. Collectors read print comics, obviously, but even then, like I know there are a lot of people who read digitals over print comics. There is. That's why I say print is hurting more than the digital. People are doing digital a lot more. But yeah, I seen Ryan say that in his video. I was like, ooh, like no, that's wrong. But also a lot of it is because how I am when it comes to stuff. Because he said in his video, nobody reads, and I'm like, well, come on, that's fucking ridiculous. Nobody, like that's an absolute lie. Because I know I read digital comic books. I personally know people who read. Like, come on, not nobody. You're blowing it up. You're being, you know what I mean? Yeah, you're exaggerating it. But that's what a lot of YouTubers and people do. But no, like lots of people read digital comic books. Lots of people read them. But yeah, print material is already low on the MC. Yeah, print material is super low. Yeah, totally. I believe that. Comic character culture is high, I would say. Comic book culture is not. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what I say. Comic culture is, but not comic book culture. Yeah. Apex Comics says, I wish Western comics can be as popular as manga is to Japan. Comic creators were living large in Europe. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and because manga, man, they don't give a shit. Man, I've been watching rewatching Dragon Ball, man. That shit is hilarious, dude. I freaking love Dragon Ball. I don't like. I get like everybody loves the Z series because of all the action and all the fighting and shit. But I'm telling you, man, the Dragon Ball series is hands down my favorite, just because it's hilarious and all the crude humor in it and everything. Fuck, man, it just gets me every time, dude. It's hilarious. That's because comic culture is looked at much more favorably in Japan. Yeah. Is considered a high form of art, not so much here in the States. That's true. Yeah. Aggressively Relaxing says, I'm so tired of people virtue signaling like Marvel making one book a week, a simple morality tale. Also, elementary teachers and Mr. Rogers can second. Right. And I have no problem. Like, here's the thing: is like, that's why they need to have titles like that. I'm not saying the titles like that need to be gone. Like the virtue signaling books. Have that book out there, but don't use. You can even use the characters. Just don't change the legacy characters. You can have the legacy characters in that story. Just don't have them. You don't have to change them to have them tell a story. You know what I mean? You don't have to change a character's origin. You don't have to change a character's background, their sex, their race, their gender, anything like that to tell a story. You can tell any story with any of these characters. And if there's a story that you can't tell with a character, you create a new one. That's why, like, when people were talking about, like, this New Mutants thing and all that stuff, or the New Warriors thing, like, I'm like, I'm not upset at it. They created new characters. I'm okay with it. I'm not saying that the book is great or that it's going to be good. But they created new characters. Do what you want with them. Do what you want. You won't find me bitching about it. You won't even find me laughing about it. You haven't even seen me laugh about the snowflake and the this and the that, whatever they're doing in that book. You haven't even seen me laugh about it. Because I don't think it's funny. I see the trailer and I see everybody talking about it. I'm like, that's good. They created the new characters. That's a good thing. I'm not going to gripe about it. I'm not going to laugh about it. I'm not going to make fun of it. Is it funny? Yeah, it's pretty funny. But that's a good thing. They created these new characters to tell the story that they want to tell. Good. Now, go make it sell. Go make it work now. That's it. That's simple. Just go make it work now. Easy enough. Just go make it work now. Apex Comics says, it would be great to open people's minds with comics. You're using your right and left brain when reading comics. Yeah, absolutely. I read digital. I do both. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, me too. Panjex says, "What's dumb about all these people complaining about individual titles being woke or whatever? They are complaining about 5% of titles out there, but they try to make you think it's the 95%." Yeah, I think so. I think so. But I will say, outside of that, even the ones that aren't woke, outside of that number, there's just a whole lot of comic books out that I read. They're just not exciting. You know what I mean? They're not exciting. Like Captain Marvel. I read Captain Marvel. It's not a terrible book. It's just not exciting. I read it every month. I've been pulling it. Probably going to stop here pretty soon on that one. But I read it and it's just like it's just not exciting. It doesn't excite me and make me want to read the next book. And that's the thing is regardless of whether it's woke or not, it's just not written that well. But some of them really are. But like Captain America, I've been reading that one. It doesn't excite me and make me want to read it every month. It's just telling a slow burn tale. It's a slow burn tale where it's like me, I read it. I'm just like this should be all like this shit should be cut in half. Like these 10 issues should be 5 issues. These fucking 20 issues should be 10 issues. It should be condensed because there's a whole lot of beating around the bush. It's not bad. It's just not great. It could be better. It could be better. Trinity is here every week talking about comics that have nothing to do with the angry YouTubers. Part of the issue is that these channels, who get tens of thousands of views, make people believe all. Yeah, and I could do that. I could go out there and I could church it up and all that kind of stuff. And that's why I'm actually going to be changing up some things here on the channel, some of my reviews and things like that. When it comes to things like that, I think there are times when I think I do need to be a little bit more harsh on some of the comic books and things like that. And but I think I can even be harsh without being like negative. You know what I mean? Without completely just trashing somebody, even though I want to. It makes it when I read Fearless, the fiercest female warriors of the Marvel Universe. That shit makes me want to fucking scream to high heaven. Because it's terrible. It's terrible. It's a fucking terrible book. Terrible book. But yeah, I know I could probably get more views from being controversial and shit like that. And I actually, I easily could. I easily could. Because weirdos are easy to talk about. Is a the industry is shit. Is it so? Yeah, right, yeah. Aggressively Relaxing says, I never got the Marvel is left-leaning complaint. Majority of Marvel comics is about personal responsibility and using your talents to make the world a better place. Yeah, no, well, the thing is like, you may not get it, but they are. I mean, they are. A lot of them are. Not all of them. A lot of them are left-leaning. And the reason that they get that complaint is because a lot of the people can't leave out the personal shit out of the personal politics and things like that. You can write those stories. I can guarantee you can write those same stories in a lot better way. Making it thought-provoking and making people actually think. Because, you read the stories and it's like they're telling you what to do, what to think, how to feel, what to say. What, you want to be like a cheap? Bah! It's just that the storytelling is bad. It's not, but I hear you there. Because they can tell the same stories in a much better way. That's the thing. It's just not creative. It's not a well-told story. But yeah, no, I hear you there, Aggressively Relaxing. I'm right there with you, man. Rose Sack says, doing a back-to-back stream this AM. Comics? Yeah, nice. Thank you for being here, Rose Sacks. I take it, yeah, I was going to say, I know, I started way early today. I was just here at the house. It was a little chilly, and it was a little chilly out in the garage, and didn't want to go out for a bike ride. The sun's out right now, so we'll probably get into that a little bit. Probably get out for a workout here in a little while. Seven people in the chat. We need to wake up. We need to wake up more people to enter this chat. Definitely. Compare today's Marvel with Marvel comics from the 70s. More action, better stories, and awesome art. I think some of the art is still good. The stories, yeah. Action, certainly. Yeah, I'll agree. I mean, the thing is there can be different comic books for different things. You know what I mean? You can have a comic book that's that touches on different things. You know what I mean? We see that they have like Batman has 5 different books going on with him in it. you can tell a different story in each one of those. You know what I mean? Utilize those. You don't want all 5 titles being the same. You know what I mean? So use one to, if you've got that many, use one that's more telling this kind of a story. Maybe one for a younger audience, but it's still relatable for people who are older. Maybe tell one that's a little bit older of a tale for older people that is still relatable to a younger audience. Things like that. But it doesn't have to be one that's just for kids, one that's just for adults. They should all be for that age range. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think that's ultimately it. That's where the good writing comes in. Good writing should come in at. Aggressively says, Fanjextra says things that are smart and correct. Yeah, Adam's an alright guy. Compare today's... Oh, okay. I just skipped there. I skipped myself. That Snow, Large Marge. Is this your creation? Getting from couch to refrigerator? Yeah. So yeah, man, we're talking more about... We haven't really talked about the comic books, have we? Today. I got my comic book pull list shot yesterday, and I didn't edit it or anything. Man, it's been busy, man, with everything that's going on. But yeah, guys, I got Amazing Spider-Man issue number 42. I got it. I read it. It was a pretty good book. I gotta say, I'm not sure if you guys read this one. This book, Amazing Spider-Man issue number 42, kind of reminds me of some books that Nick Spencer was doing when they did the Hunted series. It reminds me of those .hu issues where they were issues you didn't have to read, but they were telling more the story of the villains, of his foes, and focus more on that there. And that's what they're talking about here in this book. They're talking a lot about Gog. This is one of those books, man. There's not a lot of reading to do in this book, but this is one of those ones that's very good. Nick Spencer does good telling this kind of a tale, this kind of a book in this way. Amazing Spider-Man issue number 42, great issue. One. This is just a good story. I like this one, man. I like this story. Amazing Spider-Man number 42. And Amazing Spider-Man, like I said, there was about a 10-issue dip there where it was just like, oh man, they were tying into everything. About issue number 35, 36, it started picking up on the story again and started getting really good. Really started liking it. Punisher Soviet. There's people out there talking like this comic book is good. I was on, whose channel was that I was on the other day? Thinking Critical. They were, Wes and the guys, they were talking about this book, and I'm like, no, this book isn't good. But they all like it. I'm in the minority here on this book. This book, it's not trash. It's just not good. The art, the story, I think in issue number 2, I knew this was going to be crappy. I think in issue number 2, I knew. But I was like, you know what? It's one of those things, like you're watching, when you're watching like a car crash or something, or the plane, no, not the plane in the mountain. When you're watching it, and you can't take your eyes off of it, and you just keep watching it. You're like, oh. I haven't really liked this. I'm in the minority here. A lot of people like this, but I was sitting there reading it, and I'm like, this seems pretty simple, pretty predictable. Nothing to see here. Punisher is being framed for some stuff. These things look like Punisher did him. He goes out to find out who it is. Comes across somebody else who's like him. They talk. There's somebody setting him up. They track him down. Guy gets caught. Hellions. I actually thought this book was pretty good. I thought this one was pretty decent. I can't complain about it. I think I talked about these ones a little bit yesterday. The Nightcrawler. They're lying to you with giant size. It's not giant size. Might have a couple extra pages in there. Good book though. I like this one. I like this book. I liked everything that was going on in here. If this is the one I'm thinking of, pretty sure this is this the one I'm thinking of? We're at the end. Is this the one at the end? Yes. Is it? No. Yes? No. No, this isn't it. Interesting things going on here that they're talking about here. We're getting a lot, man, through these X-Men issues. We're getting a lot. We're getting a lot of these things like that are like the phalanx, right? These hive minds, these things going on. God, what do they call them? Like the Titans, the phalanx, the what do they call all those different things out there? You know what I'm talking about. We're getting a lot of those in these books. Getting a lot of those. Things are going crazy here in the X-Men universe, man. Let's see. Aggressively says things are too political. Complaint is always so superficial. New Mutants cover. Iceman makes 2 gay jokes in Marauders. Meanwhile, Black Panther is 22 issues deep, arguing for reparations and crickets. Reparations are bullshit. And crickets. I must have missed something there. I haven't read Black Panther. But I've heard that it's not that. Even from like I've even heard people who aren't like harsh critics on comic books that have talked about Black Panther as like, it's not that good. And these are people who aren't about the politics and all that stuff. They just read it and they're like, it's not that good. But again, to each their own. I mean, not everybody's gonna like the same stuff. Sylvester Rim says, "Bro, why they not telling me you live? You're not even popping up on my feed." I know it's YouTube's been doing that for a lot of channels and everything, man. Yeah, I don't know why, man. It's being like that. It won't even like you can go to your subscription feed. It's probably not even on there. You can probably go click on my channel. It might not even be showing up on there, especially if you're on your phone. Yeah, it's being pretty bad, man. Captain Pennsylvania says, "What up? How you doing, my brother? How you doing?" He says, "How the hell did I miss the beginning?" I started early, bro. I started before 7. But yeah, I started super early. Just had some, there's some things I want to talk about, man, and I haven't even got into those things yet. I haven't even touched into those things because I'm thinking about saving those. Maybe for tonight. Maybe I'll do a live stream tonight. Not here. Well, it'd be here on the channel, but it'd be through Patreon. I'm thinking about doing a live stream over there. Some stuff that, man, I don't know if I can wait for tomorrow to talk about. I don't even know if I want to talk about them tomorrow on the Trailer Park Live. But yeah, some things I want to talk about, guys. So make sure go check out my Patreon. You don't have to be a Patreon supporter to watch the video, the live stream that I will probably do tonight. And it's happening, guys, because there's some shit I've got to talk about, man. There's just some shit I have to talk about. In case you guys can't tell, today I'm feeling a little livelier than usual. I've been cursing a little more than I usually do here on the morning chat because there's just some shit I have to fucking say, man. But I haven't said them yet because we're not doing that right now. We'll do it tonight. We'll do it tonight on Patreon. So make sure you guys go check it out. You don't have to be a Patreon supporter. You don't have to donate $1 or anything like that. If you do, it's cool. But you don't have to be the Patreon supporter. It's just going to be live through my Patreon, which you can find links down in the description on this video. It's just going to be live through Patreon. This is because there's some things I don't want to oversaturate my channel with here. And things like that. I try to only do one live video a day here. And this one, what I got to say is not going to be here. We're going to do that tonight. We're going to do it tonight on Patreon. It's not going to be locked behind a paywall. You're just going to have to find it through Patreon. And I will make sure I put on my community tab before I do it. Maybe an hour before I go live. I'll put it on there so you guys can see it and everything like. It's just there's things that I don't want to over drown on my channel here. You know what I mean? Like I said, with the live streams and all of that kinds of stuff. Yeah, and believe me, like I said, I don't want to save it for tomorrow on the Trailer Park Live because I don't want to wait till tomorrow night when I'm tired and all of that stuff. I'll save it for Thursday night when I'm tired. But Rose Sax says, "Get that rage, me." Red Case says, "Say it." Captain Pennsylvania says, "Man, wish I knew. I work tonight, but I'll show up." All right, man. Yeah. If that didn't set up anticipation for the Patreon stream, then people are dead. I can't wait. Right? Yeah. And it has to do with more of the weirdos, because the weirdos thing is everywhere. The weirdos are everywhere. I mean, if you think about it, us being fans, we're all a little bit weird at the same time. But there are people out there who aren't even fans of shit, who have just something to say constantly, right? There's people out there like, man. And don't we all know who they are. We all know who they are. And man, it's like, I don't know. There's just these fucking weirdos out there who have to fight with everybody. You know what I mean? They can't just be happy in their own little corner, their own little sector. You know what I mean? You can't just do your own thing. You gotta beg for the attention of others. And then when you're begging for that attention, you wonder why nobody's giving it to you. You know what I mean? You're begging for that attention. Nobody wants to give it to you. So what do? You beg for it even more. You double down, damn it. But nobody's listening, man. Nobody's listening. Nobody gives a shit. I don't know, and I'm not trying to. I won't even say it was me, but am I the one that led to that? At some point it becomes insignificant. At some point you're the boy who cried wolf that nobody wants to listen to anymore. Right? And it's because nobody cares. It's because nobody cares. Yeah, and that's what it is. Because at this point, everybody's just dismissing it. Because at this point, it's just like, come on, man. Yeah. Let's move on. Move along. You can do your own thing in your own corner. You know what I mean? It just shows. It's something I've talked about a lot. Everybody does what they want. Everybody has their own little their corner of their fandoms and everything like that. And most people operate within that. Most people aren't out there just trying to reach everybody and grab everybody and bring them in and say, we're making shit better here, man. We're gonna do better by fighting with other people. Like, all you want to do is confront other people and be confrontational. Like, not actually, in under the guise of wanting to have conversations. But that's not what you want. You know what I mean? Like you're wanting to change people's minds, but you don't change it by being a fucking asshole to people, right? I could be wrong. Maybe, there's some people who are like that. You could change people's minds by being an asshole to them, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. We could even name names. Sound like a Keith Sweat album. Oh man, that's funny. Get that rage meter. No, it's not rage. It's you know what it is? It's stupid shit that, like, while I don't mind talking about it, I shouldn't have to talk about it. And when I talk about it, I'm like, I feel like I'm the fucking weirdo here because of fucking weirdos. You know what I mean? That's what it is. You make me feel like a weirdo because you're a fucking weirdo. But at the same time, is one of those things like, somebody's got to say it, right? Or do they? And that's why half the time I don't even want to say shit, because it's like, this makes me the fucking weirdo, not you, right? But I can guarantee you, it's not me. It's not me. Sylvester says, who? Honestly, there's plenty of them. There's a lot of them. Aggressively Relaxing says, Black Panther is boring? It's the first original sci-fi concept I've seen in years. Best comic out right now. Whoa, bro. Whoa. No, I'll give you that. I'll give you that because best is a matter of opinion. And you're certainly entitled to that opinion. If you like Black Panther and the Secret Agents of Wakanda, isn't that what it's called? Hey, more power to you. I'm not gonna tell you that it sucks and that you can't like it. If I read it and I didn't like it, I might say that it sucks and I don't like it. But, I usually try to frame it in a way that I don't like it, but you might. That's what I try to do in a lot of my reviews. Is why I'm not always so harsh on some stuff, because some of them I read and I'm like, I don't like this, but somebody else probably does. And some of them I read, I'm like, I don't like this, and it's complete shit, and I don't want to. I don't know who likes this book. Please let me know down in the comments below who likes this shit. Oh man. But why do we want to change minds? Why do we want to change minds? It's a good question. That's a good question. And that's my thing when it comes to these things, is when it comes to a lot of stuff, I'm not out to change anybody's mind. A lot of times I'm not out to change somebody's mind. I'm usually just out to share and voice my opinions on stuff. If it changes somebody's mind, or more, what I like to do is get people to think. You know what I mean? Get people to think maybe about what they're doing, about a situation, or anything like that. That's more what my thing is. Like, I just want people to think. Maybe think about things differently. Look at things from a different perspective. Not necessarily to change people's minds. Because I don't think it's necessarily always about changing people's minds. Because one of the hardest things to do ever is to get somebody to change their mind about something. And it's really kind of pointless a lot of times if you think about it. Yeah. He says, I'm not a Black Panther fan, to be honest. Don't tell black people that, says Captain Pennsylvania. Oh, that's funny. Rose Sachs says people can choose to watch your stream or not. You must be providing something that people want. Don't worry about being weird. No, well, it's not that. It's not that. Yeah, they can. Oh, and believe me when I say they certainly can choose to watch or not. But we're gonna get into it tonight. Yeah, and believe me, I'm not worried about being weird. Believe me, I know I'm a fucking weirdo. But to what extent, I know as well. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is time for another one of those fucking barn burners. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna burn this motherfucker down, man. That's what we're gonna do. Are we gonna do that? No, he's weird. Cracked himself up on LB stream. Yeah, man. That was fun yesterday, man. We were on LB stream talking about the MCU movies, and I'm telling you, dude, my MCU ranking would have people triggered, dude. Especially when I go in and start throwing in my comments about the movies, people are gonna be like, what? Like my top 10 is pretty normal for most people. Of course, I think most people were surprised about Ant-Man being in there, but I fucking love Paul Rudd, and I love that first Ant-Man movie. And I like Ant-Man and Wasp. They're really great movies. But yeah. Jack Kirby's Black Panther was great. I don't think I've really read any Black Panther, to be honest. Like, I've never really read any Black Panther. So I can't say one way or another when it comes to that stuff. Rose Sack says, burn, baby! Burning. Oh, I better be careful. I'm going to get a content strike. I almost started singing Disco Inferno. Disco Inferno. We need that ranking, Trinity. I gotta message you to come on sometime. Yeah, Cap. Yeah, definitely, bro. Yeah, we gotta get together, man. We do. We seriously do. Aggressively Relaxing says, my favorite comic is Fantastic Four. Black Panther is objectively the best comic book being produced right now. The skill being employed by writer and artist to make a serious point is brilliant. Okay, yeah. Yeah, and I haven't read Fantastic Four neither. See, like, aggressively, I think you read, like, the opposite comics I do. Because, yeah, I don't read Fantastic Four. I don't read Black Panther. God, for what do I read for the most part? For the most part, I mean, I've been pulling Captain America. I've been pulling Captain Marvel and Amazing Spider-Man. Been pulling a lot of the X books. That's really about it with the Marvel stuff. I mean, some of the Star Wars books I've been doing, just some of the other titles don't quite grab me. I should be reading. I want to go back and buy some. Maybe that's what I should do is get some trades of Immortal Hulk. I've heard those were really good. I need to go back and start at issue 1. And Daredevil, because Chip Zdarsky is a good writer, and I want to check out his Daredevil because I've heard it's pretty good. You've actually piqued my interest on Fantastic Fours. I'm just not like a big Fantastic Four fan. But you've kind of made me want to go out and read some of those as well. But wait, isn't Dan Slott writing Fantastic Four? Never mind. Fantastic Four I'm just getting back into. I've been out for a while, says Cap. Nice, nice. Um, yeah, 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 yeah. So God, how long have we been going here for? It's already 8:17. We've been going for about an hour and a half. We'll probably go ahead and wrap it up here in a few minutes, guys. But yeah, like I said, didn't talk. We talked a little bit about comic books here today. Like I said, it's pretty much the last our last comic book day for a little while. We did get some good books out this week. X-Men #9. I almost forgot to read this book. I was got done reading my X titles and I started digging through and I was like, oh man, I forgot X-Men 9 was out this week. Did you guys read this X-Men issue #9? Some interesting things going on here, and this is where I'm talking about. We're learning a lot more about the Brood here. We see they are talking. They're talking about the King Egg a little bit more. Like I said, the Brood. We also flash back to where were they at? The Kree Empire here on Hala, where they're talking to the Supremor. Some very interesting things going on in the book this week. I liked it. I liked X-Men. X-Men has been getting really great since like issue 4 or 5. The first handful of issues were pretty slow moving. This one right here I thought was very interesting though. Definitely some cool things going on here with the Brood here, where they're talking about some of the things, and we can see there's a whole lot of weird stuff here. It seems like the same thing that's going on with Krakoa has been kind of going on with a lot of different life forms, a lot of different species. Issue #9 of X-Men. Really only this brings out a lot of questions from me. A lot of questions going on here in this book, in this X-Men book, especially when we get there to the Brood, man. What we see going on with Krakoa, the Brood, what we see with all these different people who are, how would you say, absorbing these other beings, these other cultures into their own collective. It's going on everywhere. It's going on everywhere right now, and it's interesting. It's interesting. I'm wondering where this is going. The X-Men are obviously, we can see, they're obviously a bunch of segregationists. They are a bunch of racists. Right? Isn't that what I was supposed to say? They're not really good guys here. We can see that the fight that they're the fight that they're seeming to fight is only fighting back against them. Everything they do is only backfiring against them. Is only coming tenfold back. Everything that they do is a play that everybody else is making. So if they do something, somebody else has already done it or is already doing it as well. Everybody is doing the same thing here. Fuck, I feel like this is almost like... Is X-Men about YouTubers? Is X-Men about YouTubers and their content? Interesting stuff going on here, man. Interesting stuff going on here. Man, I could go on talking about something. Like, I would have to go back into other comic books, and we'd have to get off into another whole 5-hour live stream talking about some of these things going on here. I got to do some research to talk about some of this stuff here, because some of it goes back into House of X and Powers of X, but it does have to do with all these different species, these different hive minds doing these same things, where the Phalanx have been going out and collecting the different things into their being. What we've seen in the future in the House of X, in the Powers of X is what it was, or Powers of 10 people are calling it, whatever. We see people, we see everybody doing that now. Krakoa is doing it with the mutant thing. The Brood is doing it with the King Eggs. We could see people taking the King Eggs and trying to use those to control these beings and things like that. Where they're introducing things at that level. We see that what is it, in Terra Verde, what's going on there? It's all these different collectives absorbing other things out there and assimilating them into their own, and it's just going on everywhere. Everybody's doing the same thing here. It's crazy. It's man, Yeah, I could go on. I could go on what's going on in X-Men like quite a bit, man. It's been crazy. It's been pretty crazy. Um, I haven't read the newest X title, says Cap. Oh man, they're good, man. They're good. I picked a bad time to start getting back into comics. I only got to the grocery stores right now, right? Yeah, yeah. And you can buy them digital. You don't you have to go out. You can buy digital if you're into the digital stuff. Buy some digital comics and read them. Daredevil is like that Punisher book or Jessica Jones. It's just a really solid book using characters traditional tropes. The art is really cool in Daredevil. It's just like the Punisher book. Like which Punisher book? Like Punisher Soviet. Punisher Soviet sucks. And just like Jessica Jones Blind Spot. Oh man, that book sucks. Oh, don't tell me that, man. But I have heard that Daredevil is good. Rose, did I not send that to you? Oh, okay. He said Red Gate is there. Okay, I gotta check this out soon. Yeah. X-Men was really good. Wolverine here. This second Wolverine issue was another good one. I liked what was going on here. Some things going on here. Very interesting things going on here with the what is it? The lady in white, the white lady. The we all know how them white ladies can be. I can't remember what they're calling here, but there's some very interesting things going on here. Check this out. Right? What's going on there, Kate Pride? What's going on there? This Wolverine issue, man, some really great stuff where we see he pretty much killed his team, the X-Force team. We don't really know when this takes place. Obviously, it seems like it's taking place later. A lot of trippy things going on here. We see stuff I was speculating about before were, with this agent Jeffrey Bannister, or Jeffrey Lebowski, if you will, talking about some of these shipments. Really weird stuff going on here. Really weird stuff. But this is really, it's tying together a lot of stuff in this issue. Stuff that I think, man, just some great stuff. Issue number 2 of Wolverine. Benjamin Percy doing a great job writing this book. And this cover is fucking sick, man. This is the A cover. They finally gave us a great A cover. And I won't say finally, but because like the A cover for Wolverine issue number 1, it was okay. It was okay. This one is sick. Really do like Wolverine issue number 2. X-Men Fantastic Four. Bam. Issue number 3. This book was good too. I've liked what's going on in here. Doctor Doom, you gotta love him. What he's doing in this book. Oh man, I don't know. This one is one of those things too. This is another one of those things where you see no good guys in this book, and you see everybody being very uncomfortable and being very, it's kind of on edge. You know what I mean? It's not like, it's almost like in when they were doing Fallen Angels, and we got all those great conversations between Sinister and Psylocke. Oh man, I miss those conversations. Seeing the pleasure that Sinister took out of those conversations, making Psylocke feel queasy and everything. Like, I love that. And what Doom is doing in this book is great. The family dynamic going on here, love it. Love it. Love it. And it's stuff that anybody could relate to as well. Yeah. I don't know so much about the art in this book, man. The Dodsons doing the art here, there is just some stuff in this book I just don't necessarily like. Like, what's with this? What's with this Cyclops face? What is that? What's, this one right here? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. The art itself is pretty good. Look at Professor Xavier here, man. Oh, sorry. I don't know. The art itself is decent. Just some of this face work is just I don't like. Yeah, some of it just seems too. I don't know. It just doesn't seem right. It's just like in some spots the art's really good. In some spots it's not. I don't like it so much. And I know somebody's gonna come in here and be mad that I said that. But yeah. Gotta check that soon. Cap says, white ladies, we need more cowbell and more doom. Yes. Rose Sack says, digital material isn't my preferred reading material. If I buy something, I want something I can hold. Yes. Apex Comics says, have I been blocked? Not that I know of. I don't think so. Why did something happen? Were some of the I enjoy Immortal Hulk. All right. Um, yeah, man. Fantastic Four X-Men, man. There's some great stuff going on in this book. There's some great stuff going on in this book with the family dynamic, with the battling with the mutants and the Fantastic Four, the back and forth. This book is really good. There's only one issue left here. That's why it's almost sad that the industry, the comic books are being shut down for right now. So we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer to get Chip Zdarsky's fourth and final installment of X-Men Fantastic Four, because it has been nothing short of fantastic. Really liked it. Really like that one as well. It's saying internal error with every one of my comments. Huh, that's weird. That's weird, man. I wonder why that is. Is it showing you ads right now? Is it doing that? I don't know. Is my stream still up? Did I get canceled? That's weird. Wonder why it's saying that. Let's see what YouTube is saying and what YouTube is doing today. It's saying internal. That's weird, man. Is it even saying that I'm live right now? Let's see that. Oh yeah, okay. All right, yeah. I don't know. Everything looks all good. Okay, stream is still good. All right. Well, I guess that's good. Wonder what else. What else we got going on here, man? Because yeah, YouTube's really been really weird lately. Let's see if it's being, because I'm on YouTube Studio right here on my phone right now, and yeah, it is acting weird. It is acting very weird. Crazy, huh? Huh? Yeah. I don't know. Did you try refreshing and everything? I don't know. Let's see. See what it does if I leave a comment through here. Is it gonna? I don't know. But YouTube's been weird. Yeah, I don't know. Internet error encountered when I am sending messages. That's weird. That's weird. Wonder why that is. What's YouTube doing to us? Oh man. Seeing like right now, I refreshed my dashboard here on YouTube and it's taken forever to refresh. So that maybe they're doing some updates. Maybe YouTube's just being weird right now. Who knows? Huh. So if I want to end this stream, it looks like it may not happen. Because YouTube's not loading up right now, and it probably wouldn't let me do that. Like right now, I shouldn't have done that because now I can't even see. Now I can't even see your guys' chats. Probably have to get on my phone and check them out here. Oh, man, that's crazy. Stream is all okay. Aggressively relaxed says, now Immortal Hulk is unapologetic left-leaning comic. Dude has made himself a check on evil corporations, and it's awesome. Great use of Hulk power fantasy ever. Power fantasy ever. That's funny. Yeah, tried it all. Okay, it might be you. Yeah. Well, no, everything's good on my end. But well, except for like right now. YouTube isn't one. There we go. It's finally went back to my dashboard. But yeah, I don't know. YouTube is being weird lately, man. I know like over the past like week and a half or so, it's been really weird with a lot of stuff. Data is currently not available for some videos. As a result, displayed information may be inaccurate. Yeah, no shit. Crazy. Yeah, I don't know. It's really being. It is acting really weird, isn't it? I don't know. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. It's working again. It's not that bad. Seen worse. Oh, what are we talking? Oh, Incredible Hulk. Sometimes I have to close YouTube and reopen the stream. Yeah. It gets. Yeah, I don't know, man. It is what it is, man. YouTube's YouTube. Maybe I should complain about it some more. Maybe that's what it is. They heard me complaining at the beginning like everybody else. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it a stream there, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Like I said, I started a little bit early. just was bored here around the house. I'm gonna get out and go do a bike ride now. Have a good Thursday. I'm gonna go out and see if I can do some work. A lot of the businesses that I serve right now, a lot of them are closed. People working from home and stuff. Maybe I need to find a way to reach out to them. And that's one thing I was talking about at the beginning of the stream is maybe getting a website for my actual business, so I can find a way to get emails and stuff like that, so I can send out updates and things like that to different people who want to support my business here locally. But anyway, guys, thank you all so much for being here. Perp Minded is in the house. Aggressively says, yeah, New Hulk is super creative. Yeah, I'll have to check it out, man, because I've heard Immortal Hulk was pretty good, but I would start at issue 1. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for today. Thank you guys so much for being here. Like I said, make sure you go down in the comments or down in the description here. Check out my Patreon. Go to the Patreon. So you don't have to subscribe and you don't have to become a supporter and do a dollar thing. But tonight we're going to be doing a live stream over there. We're going to get into some shit tonight. It's going to be a good time. I guarantee it. We're going to have a good time tonight. Good time. But you all have a very good day, and we'll see you all in the next video. Later.